Hello, I'm Shubh Todi and I'm doing computer science and I'm in my third year. So I'm I wanted to present a topic which relates to my field, which is harmful effects of cell phone radiation. So we have the introduction here that everything has a pro and con, everything in the world. Alexander Graham Bell invented the first telephone, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have thought this much advancement in the technology and in this short period of time. And nowadays each and every one of us have a cell phone. It's like a norm to have a cell phone now, and this also raises the question of the radiations which cell phone produce and has become a kind of an active subject in today's world. Moving on. So what is a mobile phone? As we all know, mobile phone is a cellular device which you can carry, which is mobile as the name says. You can carry it in your pocket, in your hand, and it allows us to communicate with other people at any amount of distance. So this is how a basic mobile phone works. This is just a rough explanation. So we have a caller A, which she calls someone. The signal goes to a tower, cell phone tower. Then it goes to a cell phone company provider, which provides the service. Then it connects to another tower near to the person B, and then the tower emits the signal, and the signal reaches the phone of person B, and hence they are connected. So moving on, this is the basic statistics of the number of phones people have around the globe. As you can see, the number is quite high, and all like you can see everyone possesses a phone nowadays. So this is the increase of cellular subscriptions, which means obviously you need to have a phone to have a cellular subscription. So as you can see, the graph increases very exponentially during the years, and it says that phone has become a daily commodity. So coming to mobile radiation, so cell phones emit signals via radio waves. So everything emits signals to connect to each other. Suppose you have your TV and your remote. You press a button on your remote and the TV responds. That is due to a signal being sent from the remote to the TV. Similarly, the cell phones also emit signals so that they can connect with other cell phones or towers. So as you can see, like televisions, alarm systems, computers, and all other electrical devices, mobile phones are radio devices that use radio frequency energy emit electromagnetic radiation. So there's a frequency in which all electrical appliances work, and everything has a different frequency, or you could say it's a spectrum where each device can have different frequency, and some ranges are named like radio waves, microwaves, gamma rays, x-rays, etc. So the phone falls under radio waves, and these are waves of electric and magnetic energy. Moving on, so most of the signal transmissions from a phone is lost in the space because the phone does not know where the tower is, so it just emits the signal all around in a 360 degree, and like any part of the signal must reach the tower, so it emits everywhere. So only like some percent of the signal emitted reaches the tower. Other part of the radiation or the frequency is distributed in the atmosphere. So as you can see, it's written, having a mobile tower within 50 meter is like being in a microwave oven for 24 hours. You can already imagine what that must be like. A microwave oven does produce a lot of radiation. You definitely wouldn't want to be inside one for a day. So that is why you see mobile towers are not placed within cities or near to wherever you live or near to a public place. It's placed within a distance, and they are grouped together usually and in a almost secluded place. So those living in 50 to 300 radius face a high risk, much worse than smoking, as you cannot see or smell radiation. So even if you are affected by radiation, you would not know until you start showing the effects. And some companies do not take proper permissions before building these towers and can affect public health in a bad way, and it is definitely illegal. A survey in Mumbai also showed that 37 towers were installed, out of which more than half, which is 1800, were illegal. So we come to slow absorption rate, which is SAR. These are the absorption rate of the signals emitted by mobile phone by us human beings or the human body. So there's a limit at which these rates is acceptable. So it is measured in watts and kg. So this is regarded as one of the safety valves for mobile phones. In America, SAR of any mobile phone cannot exceed 1.6 watt per kg over a gram of tissue, which is human skin. In Europe, Europeans use the value of 2 watts per kg over 10 grams of tissue. So as you can see, it's pretty less and it's defined all over that everyone should follow this norm. So what effects do these radiations have? So first is the thermal effect. It causes these radiation causes temperature increase to wherever it affects the body or wherever it comes in contact with the tissue. So as you can see the thermal image here, left we have a person who has not used a phone or is not exposed to the radiation, and the right image we have after using a phone or after being exposed to a mobile device radiation. You can see the temperature of his face increases. Now this thermal heating can cause some effects in long term. So this, as you can see, the cornea of the eye when exposed to 2 to 3 hours can produce cataract, if as it does not have this temperature regulation mechanism. So these thermal effects also have very high chances of developing cataract in eyes or other mild symptoms. Moving on, we have second, the most common complaints are memory loss, mental confusion, headaches, sleep disorders, joint pains, depression, nausea, appetite loss. These are many complaints people have been putting after being exposed to radiation or after using a mobile phone for long periods of time. Also, these include visual disorders, cardiovascular problems, and in severe cases, it could lead to seizures or psychosis and strokes. Because these are electrical signals, and our brain also has electrical activity, so it can interfere with that. Third, we have cancer or brain tumor. This is like the most extreme of cases, but it is not improbable. So, cancer happens in extreme cases with almost everyone living close to mobile towers. Mobile phone use greater than 10 years doubles the risk of brain cancer. So, as you can see, radiation is pretty harmful, and we do not stress enough on the subject. The next part is the risk on children. Nowadays, every child has the luxury of using a phone or need every from a 2 year old we see them using phones and other electronic devices. So what this has effect these what effects does this have on children is, as you can see, skulls are smaller and thinner as the radiation absorption increases. The rate of cell division can decrease, and they can be prone to genetical damage, which is very very severe and very serious. The bone marrow in a child's skull absorbs 10 times more microwave radiation than it does in an adult. So kids have more bone marrow when compared to adults, because as they grow the bone marrow decreases. So the bone marrow actually absorbs more microwave radiation, and hence can damage a child more than an adult. Moving on, we have electromagnetic hypersensitivity, where people have been uh, people have been developing fatigue, sleep disturbances, dizziness, then loss of memory, reaction times due to exposure to these kind of radiations. Then we have the genotoxic effect, which says that after a research conducted by an Australian team, it showed that these radiations also affect fertility in to some extent in human beings. Next, we have the effect on heart. Although these radiations might not affect a normal human being's heart, but people those who have cardiovascular problems and have been fitted with a pacemaker, which is a artificial device which helps the heart keep pumping and helps the heart functioning. This is an electrical device and hence can be interfered by the electromagnetic radiations from the cell phone. Next, we have decreased hip bone density. People usually strap their cell phones to the waist or keep it in their pockets. So, this, after a study conducted, this has showed that people who keep their phones very regularly near their hips have shown decreased hip bone density, which can lead to many fractures or bone and many fractures and accidents in the hip region. Then indirect effects, as we all know, people get lost while using the phones, they text while driving, and which can be very dangerous because we do not pay attention to the road and can cause multiple accidents and is a major cause of accident everywhere. So what precautions can we take is we can plant green trees or small plants near the window so that the radiation which comes through the windows are absorbed by these plants, and we have a kind of a shield around us. And there are these gadgets called enviro chips strips that can be placed around the tower to reduce radiations. These are basically radiation shields which suppress the radiations coming out of the tower. Next, we have you can get into the best position. See, when you are not receiving reception properly, the voice is breaking or you're not able to hear the other person properly. That means the reception is bad, and the phone will actually pull in more radiation to give you the best signal. So this will affect you even more. So it's better to relocate and get a like relocate to a open space or near to a window so that the reception is good and the power consumption by the phone is less and hence the radiation pulled is less. Next, we have the position of the phone where you hold it at the bottom, not at the top. By covering large areas of the phone with a hand, you reduce its ability to send and receive signals. So if you hold your phone at the bottom, you have more open space on the phone's body, which can be used to receive more signals. So this can compensate. It increases the phone's power and hence reduces the radiation transmitted. Then the next precaution is you can use hands-free set. You can use earphones or you can use Bluetooth earphones, which is very helpful because it will keep the phone a bit away from you and your face. And Bluetooths don't have that. Bluetooths don't have adverse effects when compared to mobile phones. Again, don't talk too long. You should limit your conversations on a mobile phone to a certain extent. Like if you have some important matters, then sure, but don't necessarily use the phone because, as you've seen previously here, there are very harmful effects from the radiations of a phone. And again, you should keep a phone. You should preferably use a speaker while talking, or you can use Bluetooth again, and you can then buy low radiation phones and never sleep with your phone under the pillow or don't keep it near while you sleep because the radiation still keeps flowing around the phone and it can affect you throughout the night. Then you can avoid living near base stations. If you have a tower very close to you, you should probably relocate or inform the authorities of the placement of the tower. So the conclusion is that science does not support that the radiation may not be likely to cause cancer, but the science does not support, like we do not have conclusive information that it will cause cancer, but we can see many cases which have proved to be cancerous and exposed to radiation. So only time can prove this, and in any case it may cause some other type of damage. So it's better to take precautions and to be aware of these instead of paying the bills in your old age. So that's all from me. I hope you learned something new from this, and I hope you share your knowledge gained here to other people, and you can better yourself and better your lifestyle from now on. Thank you.